Let's see how this goes. I had some problem with my camera, it just like was not picking up properly, but now it seems to be okay. And sound is fine too, so let's go. So today I'm continuing to sketch in my sketchbook. Probably in this grey one. It's not my favorite one. I actually prefer the... I actually know that now I prefer the white paper. But I want to fill this up. It's going quite strongly on the page 37, so I have quite a bit of drawing to do here. I was going to do first some warm up. I have some idea actually. And it's a bit dog portraits again. It's the same book that I think I failed in my previous streams. There's one dog breed I haven't been drawing. I've been going this from starting from the front and going towards the back, but there's one dog breed on the back I was going to draw. It's Corky. And it's really cute. It's like flopped on its back. I was actually quite close to get Corky when I was before I had Ruka. Me and my partner at the time was thinking to get Corky. But things changed and I wanted something that was a bit for the dog spot I was going to do. So let's see how I can fit everything here. This one I'm going to put down. And I'm using my new clips that are like tiny. But they hold so well. Like I'm really surprised that like they hold really well the paper. So because at first I was like, these are way too tiny for my use because the one I have is like this wide. But it's actually good. I have some, I'm not sure where it is on the stream, but I had some bunny drawings here. And then some carrot and some gouache testing page. I was thinking I could draw the corky here, but it's how it's positioned in the tutorial. It's not lent so well. We can give it an own page. And yeah, I'm doing like a lot of violence for this sketchbook because I wanted to lay flat. And this is one of those sketchbooks that doesn't lay flat on its own, so I'm just clipping the spine. And also because there are so many gouache sketches right now, I want to have a relatively flat surface, so I clip that as well. Then the problem of the space. Well, the sketch, because I can't do... If I'm going to do with a normal pencil, it's going to disappear on this paper because this is like exactly shade of graphite, which is not good. That's definitely really annoying. Last time I sketched with Lumos and we ended up a lot of smudge because this ink isn't waterproof, so... Let's use only half of the Lumos because the Lumos is way too long for my hand. And I was thinking I'd first do this would be like, I would say, warm-up type of sketch. I'm just like looking at the tutorial, like how I want to position the dog here. Because I have really bad habit to start the drawing on top corner. And in this tutorial, we start from the head, which is like on here, so I really need to start here and not there. especially on my earlier sketchbook, when I'm looking at those, there's those really funny like half sketches because I have started on so close to edge that I haven't been able to finish out the drawing, so it's funny. Do I really want to start with the... Maybe I'm not starting with the pencil. That's a bit too bold. How this one? This one green. That's not quite of the color of the cork. This one is brown. It's a bit closer. Oh, this is one of those colors that doesn't show up on this paper too well. I really like that this dog has like quite different pose than usually. Actually, this is like a pose that my younger dog Levi usually does. He's really weird dog that he often just like rolls on his back and just like lays there and sleep also on his back. His little feet. Then we could add the details. I was thinking I could go, of course I need to add the front paws here. There's the sketch. It isn't showing up, so let's pick up the lumos. I have been really trying to give up some like mileage for these lumos and the Tom Studio fountain pen. Well, I have brush pen attachment on the fountain pen. But that fountain pen leaked on my pencil case. So I have been really hard time to get like using the pen and trying to like plan out how I want to do the review. And trying to find something positive to say about the pen, because now it feels like I would give out quite negative review because I have been not liking the pen at all. That's not so weird spot that I really should... Well, because I'm going with the pen, so I can't even erase, so it's basically same where I start. I may want to have some more sketch on this nozzle area before I go there with the pen. Somehow I feel like my line quality is not so good today. Like, I don't know it's because the pen is so short or what, but I feel that it's not what I usually do. And with like line quality, I mean that there is not... how I usually do my line art is that it's like quite confident, I would say. And it's also like there's not that much like errors, like sketchy lines, because I am quite familiar with the pen, but this pen somehow, it doesn't feel nice in the hand. Like it feels like it doesn't feel really clunky, almost a bit scratchy, which is weird for the fine liner because fine liners usually are super smooth. A little bit of the here. I haven't met that many corgis now I'm thinking of too. I don't know, are they like, at least this one has quite long hair, so I think they have double coats. Maybe not long, but dense coat. I don't know. People often think that I know all the dog breeds, and truth is no, I don't know all of them. I know the most of the breeds that I like. I have or I have considered. So usually larger, like shepherds, so like Ruka, and then some smaller shepherds like Australian Shepherd and Border Collie. Even if I consider the corgi, I know I didn't meet that many corgis. Also, it seems to be a breed that is not so common here. I think this is actually really hard post to travel. Especially positioning the eyes. I feel it has reason why this is back of the book, because this one is quite advanced because the head is upside down. If I would be streaming, I would be rotating the sketchbook around, but because I'm streaming, I don't want to do that. Let's draw the nose here. This is really funny. Oh god. Oh no, that looks even more horrible. I don't want to even add the eyes because I know it will be look really clanky. One thing I have been liking on this book is that it has been it started with the easy and it goes in the harder parts. But now I'm really seeing when I skip on the end, it's like, yeah, it definitely has some learning curve to it. Face looks so funny. Yeah, pose itself is really hard, so it doesn't work as the warm-up sketch I was hoping. But now I will be taking a reference, because I had done not my Instagram, because I do have own Instagram, but I'm really inactive there. I have the art Instagram. Also I have Ruka Instagram. And Ruka's Instagram, it's also Levi's Instagram. They have a lot of followers, so I did story post there that if people want, I can use their dog as the model, and we have one. Well, we have few, but I actually picked up the surprisingly corgi, because it's a breed I haven't been drawing before. Oh, this is really good. I like it. I'm not going to show because this is other people's Instagram, but I think that I found like perfect reference. Now I want better pen for this one. Last time let's see a little bit back, because I think last time we used Lumos for the sketching. Here with the Pomeranian, I used Lumos for the sketching, but it actually smooths out really badly. So I have an idea. Let's draw this horrible sketchbook on the side, because I have, oops, excuse if I drop something. We have some old sketchbook, and it's funny, but I was thinking this is perfect for the corgi because it's brown colored. This one has even thinner paper, and this is from the time I had Bun, and Bun drew it on the sketchbook. I'm not mad at him. I find it like brings up the memories when I couldn't leave my sketchbook on the floor or anything because Bun suddenly decided that the corners were too sharp, but they need to be rounded. I miss him so much. He was so lovely bunny. And this is rare for me because it is a spiral bound. I usually don't use spiral bounds at all because I don't like feeling of the spiral bound on my hand. And especially now it's right hand. I'm right-handed. I have quite many empty pages on this side because I'm drawing only the other side. So now I get some few like warm-up sketches, but I like that I can use graphite now. And I have like no need to use like trying to use something like pencil or colored pencil on paper that isn't showing up so well. But that's different. I think the corgis have quite thick fur. I think they have double coats. Not as thick as Ruka. Like Ruka has really thick fur, but I would say same as border collies. I'm not so sure about that, but also thing with the Levi is that even if Levi's border collie, he has really thin fur. He has like really like silky type of thin fur. Definitely, even if he's like should be working dog, I would say he is something that couldn't work with that fur because it's like not that much of the like weatherproof. I have to say the snout of the dogs are like hardest spot to draw. At one point I was actually streaming this Twitch, and those streams were in Finnish. And hi Askialona. Yeah, I had a really nice Sunday. I've been knitting at the mostly, and I was in like nice. I wouldn't say lazy, but like nice quiet Sunday. But yeah, the one I was streaming on the Twitch, and I used to draw my followers on the Rukas Instagram. It was really fun, and it's something I would love to bring it back. And also I had a poll on the Rukas Instagram that it was something that they would want to see again. Problem is that since I'm streaming in the YouTube, it's like I need to link the stream, and I can't like stream in the Instagram. Well, I could stream on the Instagram. There's like no limit for that. But I'm not familiar with the Instagram streaming, and that would mean I would have my phone streaming, so my phone would be up where my webcam is currently, so it could not work that well. So I resorted back to streaming in the YouTube. Also, YouTube is something I have been streaming quite a long time, so I felt like I am more confident streaming the YouTube. Because all like the how it's set up is like familiar to me because I have used it so much. With the Twitch I had a bit of trouble using it because I'm not so familiar with that one. Well, it looks like a dog. I was thinking I could add some gouache to it and see how it works with medium. I'm a bit hesitant about this paper because it's like super thin. And yes, I'm doing some erasing on the lines because I don't want them to show up. Trying not to make huge noises. So it's always a bit hard because if you have like laptop on your table and you are lifting something on the table, I know it's like a huge bang sound, so I try to avoid those. I have the palette here. I can put it in front of me. No, I can't because I need to take the brushes here. For the gouache I use any brush I can find. So those. I don't know about this one. Should be good to go as well. I should have filbert somewhere. I didn't like the brush type. I used to use that a lot. Where I put it? I have the problem that my table is huge mess and I really should like do some cleaning. No, I cannot find the filbert, of course. I have other filbert type of brush here, but I think the other one was smaller. Well, now we have to go with this one. Also, my water is dirty because I'm not prepared. And my jelly gauze is, I would say it's gone a bit dry. Like it's not jelly anymore. So it has turned out a bit more like dried cake. So I have been trying to rewet it often and get it like, and also keep the lid closed and trying to make it work. And it has been okay, even if I was first a bit worried that how it could, like, would it rewet? But yeah, it rewets fine. And semi gouache. I'm trying to find and the grayish pink for the inner ears. I have that on my palette, but here. It should be funny now because it's so wild, but it will be mostly covered up. I just need it for the like inner parts of the ear. And the color of the cork is it's a bit lighter than the paper, so I'm mixing the sorry. Levi is digging something on the floor. Levi's like funny, like he thinks that he do like the like sleeping pit or something like that. So he digs the floor. I was doing like quick like guide. Yeah, I think that gouache is like it's works pretty much with any brush. I have noticed like there's not that much of the. It's not picky about it. The system 3 is for acrylics. It works well with the gouache as well. Now when I have been painting a lot with the gouache, I like mainly with the gouache because I had this quest of fill of the sketchbooks. I noticed that it has some interesting qualities, like how close it is for like oil color, because I saw that one gouache tutorial that talked about how gouache, I wouldn't say like should be worked, but one way it could be worked is that you use it as oil color, like you use that oil color, the fat over lean rule. So, but in this case you have like the most water layers down and then the most painty layers on the top. It has been working for me really well, because at one point I had huge problem how to work with the gouache. It felt like it wasn't working for me at all. One thing that this Himi palette lacks is gray. So I would love to have gray color now. I could do some shading on the under the chow, but I have some gray on my palette. Usually I try to avoid shading with the gray, and especially if I'm doing watercolor, because I usually don't have a gray in my palette, and I much prefer like violet for the shadows. But in the gouache I have noticed that it's good because the gray contains white and also the black, and it's quite opaque. Because with this Himi gouache not all of the colors are opaque enough. But white is really opaque, and same goes with the black, so those are the two colors I use the most for the shadows. Yep, sorry. I still had that old notification for my stream. I should have removed that because it's like from two weeks ago. I'm sorry, my dogs might start to bark soon. I have dog hair in the painting as well. I can hear a car outside, so they're probably parking on that one. This paper takes it surprisingly well. Like, I was expecting this to buckle a lot, but it hasn't been that bad. I'm surprised. I was thinking, reason why I haven't using gouache on this sketchbook is that I was thinking this paper is like really prone to buckle because it's like really smooth, but it seems to work better than the other sketchbook, because the other sketchbook have really it struts more, I think. But it has the paper texture is really weird. There's like those small hairs embedded in the paper, and the paper is also really like thirsty. Yeah, it's like thirsty. It's like it soaks up all the water, and it can also make all the colors a bit dull because it's like seems like they like sunk into the paper. It is weird quality because I haven't seen paper do that. It's not watercolor paper or mixed media, so that might be it. Yeah, Ruka says hello. Ruka is like really, because he's guard dog, he's like wants to say hello everybody who goes around the house. I'm really liking this filbert brush. I really like System 3 brushes in general. They used to be brushes that like work in every medium. Well, maybe not with the watercolors, but I use them with the acrylics, and I use them with the gouache, and I have been using them with the acrylic inks, and they work. And they are also really durable. They don't seem to get frayed easily. It's sad that I can't get them open stock anymore. At one point I think one of the shops around here carried the System 3. Because I prefer getting the brushes in person, so I can like test out how the bristles are, and especially the size. Size is something I often want to check, because when you are ordering online, even if there's like sizing guides and stuff, it's with the brushes I still maybe a bit confused with the flats or angled ones, like how they even measure the size. And also brush hairs are something I want to feel before buying, so it's not possible if I'm buying brushes online. But then if I'm buying like brushes like System 3, I know how their brushes are, so I can just quite easily buy them and buy like replacement ones if I need. The mouth is really dark, and I try to be really careful with the black, because I have had problem that this gouache, the black is really overpowering. So I try not to get too much of it here. Okay, now the filbert is getting a bit too big. And some white ear fluffs. Controlling the amount of the paint on the brushes with the gouache, something I have been trying to learn, because it's really different than in watercolors, because in the watercolors you can easily just like dip the brush and get the paint, but with the gouache you have to work it a bit more, and because the gouache is more solid, it's like I find it a bit harder to get on the brush. Yeah, I have noticed that like if you buy sketchbook online, that there's sometimes like really weird paper, like this one is okay's paper, but the other one has really odd paper, and it's Strathmore, but it's really old Strathmore, so I don't know, do they still do the similar paper? But that paper is just really weird. It has, I think I saw it. Like, there's somewhere it said Strathmore. Yeah, there. And it says it's 400 series toned grey paper. But the paper is like, it has like small hairs in it. It's like, it's really weird to explain, but there's like small hairs inside the paper. And when you wet that paper, those hairs become more pronounced, and it looks like you have extra lines in the paper. Like, it's not, it's really weird. Especially because Strathmore is quite big paper maker. I was expecting their paper to be much better. But I think next, if I want to buy, I forgot the other here. If I want to get toned sketchbook, and since I now know that I mainly use it for gouache, I might get something that is like mixed media or watercolor, or that is more suited with the wet medium. I'm liking how this dog is turning out. It's working okay. I haven't done dog portraits in a while, like long while. So I was a bit hesitant to pick up the subject. Also, I think to have, yeah, the hair paper is like really, it's really weird. I think I was actually thinking I could do review of that paper, but I'm not sure it's the same anymore, because that sketchbook is really old, but the hairs on the sketchbook bother me so much. Like, it's insane. This one has some kind of uneven texture as well, but they are not hairs, they are more like recycled paper, which is which I like a bit more. But the other paper has just like hairs. I'm trying to like give some details to the eyes. I think the eye is a bit too small. This one is also from System 3, and this is really old brush. It's not so good shape anymore because the tip is bent. I don't know what happened to it, but because I know it's like bended, I can use it still. Because it's like, it's pointy, but the point is, it's like a bit droopy brush. Also the nose needs a bit more details. And also sepia is one of the colors I'm hoping to have in the gouache, because it's like quite hard to get dark browns without sepia. There's the like burnt umber color, but I would still prefer having like sepia color. I'm trying to give a bit more brown. Didn't show up that well. Since in the reference the dog has really dark brown eyes. But what I like with the gouache is that because I can so easily change the value, like I can lighten it up. It is something I miss in the watercolors because I often go too dark and then I can't go back. But with gouache you can. It's a bit forgiving than the watercolor. I'm going to give it some highlight as well. Oh, my brush is like really dry. The white of my palette is super dry, so the highlights of the mouth area. I don't want to give too much highlights because I'm quite aware that I didn't paint this too well, so I don't want to like draw too much attention to this area. Yeah, I love brown line art. Like I usually, when I do watercolors, I only do the brown line art. It makes. I like the tone it set for sketches. Like it's somehow more calm and less strong than having black outlines. I don't really ink anything with black. I usually just pick up the brown. Also, the other day I saw a really cool old children's book that was illustrated, like hand drawn. It was like from 70s, and there was really beautiful watercolor illustrations, and those had brown outlines, and I was like, that is so cool. And also it was about bunnies, so I was like, it was super cool. It's been something I have been also thinking, like my style would really well go with the like some kind of children's book. I don't know, do I have like any type of skill to get the story idea. I also write a like stories, but I don't do like children's stories. I do much more like different stuff. But I like the storybook style, so it's something I could think in the future if I can get up some cute story about bunnies and then illustrate it. Yeah, and when I'm like, I don't know how about this paper, but at one point I was, I think I was really picking at the watercolor. I was like overworking everything. Like I had paper that had really fragile surface. So when I was like getting my brush over it over and over again, at some point it was like give up. Now I have actually two options. I could either continue with this sketch because it's not finished, I feel like it's under painting stage, or I could do another sketch from the same reference and trying to improve this one. And this is something I used to do at some point a lot. So I was taking old sketch and then like almost like doing self-critique and then trying to improve. So that is something I'm going to do here as well. But I think I still should continue this a bit more, especially the ears are really off. But well, I will give it a bit more work. Not so sure. Now I have too water. Yep, it's nope. Too much water. With the gouache, I like more of the type of style that is like really like painterly style. So I think this one is quite far off with that. I'm trying to give it a bit more of the right pattern even. It's funny that I heard that Ruka was doing big shy, like, and downstairs. So I'm not so sure about the color of the dog. I don't know how the Corki's colors go. This is actually something that is really helpful if you're doing a pet portrait, is get few sketches of the breed first, because there might be some special characteristics of the breed that are important, and they may not be obvious on the first time. Okay, now this is a bit more ready, so I can... I think I will just like write it here. And we are going to use this Lumos. I so desperately trying to get more useful. I think maybe I'm criticizing it here. One thing I noticed, if I'm compared to the reference photo, I sadly cannot show it to you, but you have to trust me, is that these colors are really flat. Of course, that is like property of the gouache, having flat colors, but I feel I could have improved. Like this area has some shadows here as well, and I think by improving the shadows, I could make it less flat. And also because the colors are really even, it feels like it's a bit too flat. And I'd like to see more texture here. And I think the texture will improve, that it will look more like fur, because at this point it looks a little bit like... it looks like velvet. velvet kind, like it doesn't look like fur. Like I actually like this bunny here because it's like made with the pen. It's look fluffy. It's look like it has fur, and this one looks like stuffed animal type of fur, so it doesn't look like real. So that's something I would also want to improve in my next sketch. For shape-wise, it's quite good. The ears are not the right shape, I think. It doesn't look like the cork, it looks more like Shiba, because the ears are pointed. So I will separate it, like I will write here that the ears more rounded. Because, yeah, I will like just add like the breed character. Also the color, I feel it's not correct. This one is it's more light in the reference photo. This one is bit too yellowy, I would say, or too orangey even. So I try to do the color better next time. Other than that, for my skill level, what I do for the dogs usually, I think it's okay-ish. And I like the mouth area and also the nose. Nose could be a bit bigger, same goes with the eyes. But other than that, I think it is quite good. So let's see if I can improve that. Oh. This Lumos is annoying because when I have used this like this, I was like getting cap here. But since this Lumos Pro and it has like two ended, there's like this cap also is like capping the other end, so I need to open this side, rotate it around. It's definitely something I'm not so used to use. So I'm doing the sketch. I'm numbering, actually this one is number 1, so here would be the 2. I usually don't number my sketches, but this time it's a bit on the like different location. I'm also looking my reference photo and thinking that maybe I could be better off with a different kind of shape. I usually start with the round circle, but at this point I feel that I could shave off a bit of the top and do a bit more shaping. I'm drawing it center line here, so I can do the feathers in the center, and also I want to keep the symmetry. Now I'm looking more of this one. So here we have the line where the head shape start to go away from the round, and it's like almost like seeing the neck. And also this is the line where the ears start, and this is also the line where our eyes are. So that's really good observation point. Also the snout area start here. And I think the last one had a bit too small of the snout, so let's draw it a bit longer this time. Yes, the nose is all the way here. And then we have the tongue and the cheeks. And the eyes are right around this area. Same as here. And then I'm looking corner of the eyes. They are a bit like here and here. And I'm marking them on my sketch. Let's do the ears. So ears go quite like up, and I'm like looking for the eyes here as the guide. They go up, but they are quite round, and here they even have like this kind of little like flap underneath, that they are not like coming straight out of the skull. Oh, that is a wonderful moment, like when the rain stops and the sun is coming out. We are actually still in the darkness here in Finland. It's still quite of the winter here. It's suddenly become a spring. Like on the daytime, I felt like sun was warming a little bit of the air, and also snow was melting a bit. Now I like much more of the ear shape. I think the ear shape is much more like corky. Can you even see anything? About, yeah. You will see it better when I start to do the painting part. Amazing. That's Levi. I don't know what business he has. I'm adding lines here because I can see in the expression that there is the lines, and there is also that looks right about it. Also, I want to have it continuing here, because there will be like, because corgi is so like short breed. I think this is part of the elbow is somewhere here. So I want to give it like bit more of the breed character there. And with the eyes, I think I need to sketch them a bit more this time. They are quite round, and I would say like really happy. Also, I will do some like, I will not do realistic style, so I will try to do my style, so I stylize the eyes a bit. I was thinking that might be a bit too droopy, the other one. So let's erase it a bit. We don't want to make the dog look tired. It's more like it. And we have the coloring array here, but this one I feel it's important because it's like cheek area. And same goes with here. It look a bit funny now because they are so strong, but they will. I hope that they will look better when I'm like getting the paint there. I was thinking I could ink this up and then do the gouache over it. But I know that because gouache is opaque medium, it will be covering up the inking, which is a bit sad. Also, the problem is that I don't know which one of my browns are waterproof. Because I have had the problem that I have waterproof and non-waterproof fine liners, and I mix those up, and it's not good. Because then I can't like know which one I'm picking. I think I get this Gouache up a while back. Let's check it. Yeah, it has a carded in it at least. I was thinking, was this brown? Because if I'm thinking, nope, it's dry. I was thinking I could do black because the paper is gray. So I think I can get away with the black one. So I'm sorry, I know I'm making huge sound here. We have the Pentel, yeah, Pentel Sing Pen in extra fine. This Pentel pen has been really quickly become one of my favorite inking tools. At first I was like a bit skeptical, like what's the hype, why everybody are using this. But when I'm like, when I got my hand in one, I was like, okay, now I'm getting it. They are really nice pens. Also, even here, these are really easy to get. Like, I can get this locally, so if I run out of ink, I could just like get another one. But at the same time, I have been constantly trying to search for more like sustainable options, because I don't want that if I run out of ink of my pen that I need to replace the whole pen. I just want to re-ink the pen and continue using it. At this point the binding it was on the way. I'm just doing like the minimal inking. I usually ink, if I do like full inking, I can do like, well, how I would call it, I can do like full inking, which means that I will be using only ink for the piece, and then I can do like outlining, and now I'm doing more like the outlining stuff, which means that I will just like lightly outline the important features. And in this case, I'm not even using the line width for my advantage, but to correct the eye, because this one was getting too flat. Oh, that's good tip, Luna. Like Luna said that I mark my pens with circles that I put on them with permanent marker. This way I always know which is waterproof and which is not. I really need to do that, because I have many times happened that when I'm taking the pen, I was thinking it's waterproof, it's not waterproof. And then it will ruin my watercolor sketch. Especially with the watercolors, it's annoying, because watercolor is so like it's transparent, and when you have like dark brown outline, it will be really ruin the whole thing. Well, sticking my head almost to the frame, but I want to have the nose shape here. Even here I could, if I would go like full inking, I would ink the nose with the pen as well, because it will be black in the end. But because I'm just outlining and not actually inking, I will just like leave it at that. I think that's enough. Yeah, I also like, I use reason why I got into fountain was like I wanted to use pens more, but at the same time I still have problem that I have quite many disposable pens. Like I haven't yet find good brush pen nor good refillable fine liner. But yeah, I was hoping the Lumos would make the cut, because for Lumos you can buy new tips, but it's so far it hasn't been so much success. I could erase the lines here, but I was really thinking, should I erase the lines or not? Maybe I erase them, because I want to be able to leave that paper showing through. I just need to remember where the lines were. Oh, and now I can see that I definitely make the ears different shapes. They are still actually not right. This one looks like bat ear. Definitely something I need to fix. So correct way the ear go would be here and then here, like this way. These are still not round enough, if we are precise. These look like Ruka's ears. And Ruka's ears are pointy. These look like too pointy. This would be even rounder. But I can't do it right. I will let that be. So I will do it just later. But since I know this sketch has already some problems, I was thinking I could try something different than here, because this one I was like really having underpainting, and this one I was thinking I could go more painterly. So I would think I could have the white like there, because I don't want stark white. I will just like grab some random brown spot on my palette and add it there. So now we have titanium white. Close to that. And now just like really casually adding it where I see our light areas. This is actually how I like to do if I feel that I want to, if I like feel that the sketch has failed, it's like I want to make it something out of it. I usually go with the like then experiment with the color. Yeah, I think that dogs look really. This look like wrong breed now. Like, yeah, this one is weird. It looks like it's mixed between the German Shepherd and Corgi. The ears are like from German Shepherd, but the face is more like Corgi. So definitely I need to improve that. But we have time for the third and fourth sketch as well. So we will have time for improve that. Actually, at one point when I was sketching, I had, it's almost like a rule that I always draw the same subject 3 times. I don't have that anymore. I don't have patience for that. But at that point, I was really like wanting to improve and really like really motivated, and also so more in the beginning stage. So I was always trying everything 3 times, and I was often just like criticizing my old work. Ooh, oil painting. Oil painting is something I have been only tried once, and sadly I cannot do it because I get migraine from the smell. I even had the water soluble oils, but it was not enough. Now I'm like trying to give it this bit more texture, because the other one lacked texture. Maybe the fourth one will be better. At some point I was doing a lot of landscapes as well, because I was doing the Magic the Gathering cards art alterations, and I did those on the land cards, and they basically have landscape. So I was really into painting landscapes. And it's really, I find it, I am like, I'm not like professional artist, but if I would be a professional artist, I would have really hard time, because I have these like phases. Like suddenly I get really into like now I'm doing the dog portraits, and that has been going quite a long time. Also bunnies. At one point I was really into almost like storybook type of illustration style, and then I had like phase where I got like I was all into landscapes, and because I have a hard time to stick with the one. I'm like always going with the something new. It was hit the floor. Yeah, that has happened to me so many times. And also I usually hit my paintbrush. It's my tripod. Like you can see now, I'm like how I'm holding my brush, and my tripod is like really close here. It's out of frame, but it's here. So my tripod leg has like has paint, because I just like constantly when I'm saying something, I'm poking it with the paintbrush. Also my easel is like looking really messy, because I tend to like leave my brushes on the easel, and then they like roll on. Yeah, floor protection is good. That is something I should get here as well, because I actually got one, but I don't know where it got. I had like that plastic IKEA that is meant for like you put under the chairs and stuff. I had that kind of plastic, but I don't know where it went. I maybe used it as original purpose, so it's under my desk chair. But oil paint is something that is not, it's not easy to get out of the floor. My previous apartment had some oil paint stains. Those were not from me, because I never painted oil paints in that corner of the living room. But I think one of the previous tenants were like painting oils. Now make a bit more of the texture. Yeah. Solvents are something I'm really sensitive. I can't use them at all. I remember when I was painting the, I don't have those painted anymore, but when I had the water soluble oils, they didn't need any solvent. I could use just water, but the smell was still too much, because the paint itself has the smell. But now I feel that I can get quite similar things with the gouache and learn the similar rules. So I'm not like missing oil paint so much anymore. But I do sometimes feel like I'm like missing out, especially in the how it goes in Finland is that like the oil painting is considered as the real painting, and it's more like how could I say it? it's a medium that people think that it's like real artist use, which for me is bit odd, but it is what it is. So when people hear oil paint, they're thinking that it's like proper painting, and watercolors are something that are considered more for like kids, which is not true at all, because I feel that all the mediums are equal. Like if they, because the paintings are different, and they are all beautiful, and they are all like, they are all art. But I would imagine if I would want to have like my art show or something, I think I wouldn't get one, because I don't paint with the oils, nor and rarely with acrylics either. So I think I would be just like I would be reacted basis by medium, like. At the moment I was like, why this palette feels so weird? Then I realized that I usually work it the other way around, that the white is on this corner. Now I put it on the table, like a different orientation. It confused me a bit. I'll try to do dark shadow here. I'm quite confident that at some point I might try oils again. I'm just like, the water-soluble oils were not for me. I didn't like their consistency that much. But I was thinking, I hope at some point there will be, because I want, I love how I see it, how easily the oil paint blends, and how reworkable it is. But I'm confident that at some point some scientists invent something, and we get the like new paint type or something, and we can get the oilish feeling on the something synthetic. That's why I have golden opens. They are quite close to that, but they still dry differently. Yeah, that is what I have seen, that like oil painting, because you don't have the hurry. Because if you are working with acrylics, you are. I feel that it's like medium that like rush and make me rush the painting, because I have to think about drying time, and I can't take my time on the brush strokes because the medium is drying up so quickly. But I think with the oil paintings, because it takes so much time, you can just like do the one. I'm sitting in my tripod. Do the one brush stroke and then wait, and it's more calming. But also I had a problem because I have Ruka, and Ruka is shedding all the time. He's like, the fur is just everywhere, the hair. So if I try to let oil paint drying in my apartment, well, my house, it will be covered in dog hair. But it is something I want to try in the future, especially because even if it feels like the watercolor is one of the other mediums that is like really could be thinking as it's not, there's no hurry. There actually is, because watercolor, how it behaves is that it will leave edge if you are not filling the area quickly enough. So again, there's the rush. So I think I have like huge hair, like hair ball of ruga in my gouache. So I think like gouache is the closest I have been getting to the oils. But I have some experiment going on, and I was thinking if I can get something like something working there, I could do video about it, because I have been getting, because with the technology we have those still on it fur. Yeah, definitely. But because the technology, we have all of those that like slows drying time, and at one point I didn't want to use those because they were like, they made paint gunky and unpredictable and didn't work that well. But I have seen they have been going forward with those, and they are slowly becoming better and actually work on the acrylics. So I may at some point be able to enjoy the acrylics like the oil painting. I'm trying to give the eye a good shade. No wonder that my brushes are in the bad shape, because I handle them a bit roughly. Like now I'm just like tapping them on my rag. I think I'm not adding any. I will add a bit of the shading here as well, but then I will critique this painting and do the third one, and remind myself my old rule that I always painted everything 3 times. But repetition is something, if you want to improve, it's actually quite a good way to go. But at the same time, I think it's something that shouldn't be given as advice, because it should be given advice when you want to improve. Because if you want to do art as the like way of hobby and way of relaxation, there's no point doing same thing 3 times, because it's like not your goal, because you will improve even every time you paint, and that doesn't even need to be your goal. So it's like, I always find it a bit funny when I see those videos that tell like artists to draw this and that and those things, like always study anatomy. Like, yeah, study anatomy if you want to draw something anatomically correct, but if your goal is just like draw landscapes on your leisure time, then it's okay just like skip that. Which actually reminds me of I watched it in the YouTube while I was knitting. I watched the show in the YouTube called Fake or Fortune, which is like art fakery, and they are going like investigating the art stuff, that is it real or is it not real. So it's quite a nice show actually. And I was watching that, and there was the Windsor Churchill, some political figure, I think, who was like amateur painter, and he was painting landscapes when he was on holidays, and I think that was like good. Like, why we don't get that more nowadays? That it's like okay to be painter that paint on the like free time. Because I have been personally feeling that YouTube is like really pushing content, and like everybody who do painting should be aiming for professional painters. And something like just painting on your free time is not like, it seems like it's not like even an option. And that has reminded me today, and I have been thinking that like it would be really good way to like relax. And I have been lately taking way more relaxed way to my art than before, because before I was really into, I improved quite fast previously, because I filled so many sketchbook, and I was more I did many sketches and studies, and I read many art books and watched tutorials and did tutorials and was like really studying. But at the same time I got like really horrible art block, because I couldn't get any joy out of the art, so it was like not good way to go either. So now I've been thinking it more as hobby, and I have been thinking more as like I will be improving slowly, but I'm more wanting to keep my art like going and not getting art block. And it sounds funny, but I want to be like more like in the show was like the Winston Churchill, who was like painting on his leisure time, like when he was traveling and stuff. So I was thinking, it sounds like how I could do art if I would travel. I don't travel that much, but it sounds like really like I think good way. And his paintings were really good. Like they were good because he painted a lot, and that made me thinking that if art is something I enjoy more, I would probably paint more. So soon will be time for third sketch, and I can already see on the points I need to improve. I don't know how justice happened to other people as well, but I like never clean my palette. So I have like brown bottle here, here, and here, and I just forget which one is the brown I have here. Like I was like watching my palette and thinking, which of those bottles I dip my brush in? Yeah, it's like it happens more in the streams, because I'm maybe not so much paying attention what I'm doing. I talk at the same time, so. But I thought it's like a funny moment, like I just dipped my brush there. Yeah, it was not that. Maybe it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. I'm thinking I get why some people clean their palette between paintings. So yeah, with this one I'm not going to render it any further. I actually like it. I like this more than this one. This one looks yellow and flat. This one less so. This one also look more painterly. So let's get the Lumos pen because we need to have more use for it, so I can do review at some point. And that ear is bothering me so much. Like it's really eating me. Okay, let's see. Can I do the same thing I do with the open acrylics? Because with the open acrylics, if I do Magic the Gathering card art alterations, I need to be really good at matching color. No, that's not matching. It's also not covering it up. So this is also one way to correct if you make mistake on the sketchbook and you don't have. You can always throw like background effect there. It just looks like sticker, and it's much less obvious that it's still showing up a bit, but there's like not wanted lines. Yeah, it's like even if there's like more paper showing through, I think the paper is quite close to the Corky's color. And the ear shape is better, but it's still not correct. Because this one is more of the Ruka's ear shape. Like, let's talk about it a bit more. Like, if you think of some small breeds, they often have like really pointy ears. Like this way. Especially if they're short hair, they will be really pointy. And Ruka has ears like that. So they are like going on the side, then they go down and they are like that. So they are rounded but not round enough. And how I'm seeing Corky in the reference, it has. This is also like how border collies have the ears if they are up. So I'm seeing that the paper is like sliding around. Definitely not nice. The ear is like kind of like down, and it's like almost like this kind of shape, like really round. So ear shape is still not correct. Oh, it's the prospect. And since I spotted this ear shape on previous time, I'm putting exclamation mark on that one. That's really like also good with the oil gloss because you can, yeah, it handles the interruptions very well. And they are like really cute. Like if there would be the reference photo, this is really good sketch. But because I can see the reference photo, I know it's like it's still not getting the breach characteristic. I like this the coloring. I think I'm going to write those as well. I really like the coloring. Also, I think the nose-eye ratio is like nose-eye ratio. Proportions are better. But the ear shape is still not right. This one bit more, but it's still not round enough. And somehow the general face shape is too this. And I think the eyes could be bigger. Because now it actually looks more like German Shepherd. But that may be also because I have drawn many times German Shepherd and not Corgis, so that may affect it. This one has more of the 3D shape coming out, and that I like. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I think it's the ear shape that bothers it. And also the eyes. Because corgis have quite big eyes. And this one is not looking like corgi. So let's try again. One more time. Actually, I'm like ready to do this like 5 times if it feels like I'm not getting it right. Because it's something at one point I really wanted to take pet portrait commissions. Because I have seen that when people do pet portraits, they often do it really large scale. And those get really expensive. I know that it's like probably more profitable. But at the same time I feel that it's a bit sad because it will not everybody will be able to afford those, so I would like to be able to do smaller portraits of the pets in more affordable prices. So that is something I'm probably I would want to aim in the future. But last year I didn't practice that much, but I hope that maybe this year is the one that I can do that. Now I'm even measuring, like this to this is around here. And if I'm can it be that much? I want to take like proper measure on the reference photo. Yeah, it is. It is that far, but because it goes and this side is almost straight up, so I can round it a little bit off so it doesn't look so unnatural. And this time I might stylize a bit more, but now here we have the taper, well, the rounded off edge, so I'm like really I feel I'm really pushing the boundaries here. Oh, welcome back. Now I have fear that I took it a bit too far for the round side. But actually at this time I was thinking I could do it more cartoony way. This ear is a bit more better in the shape wise. It's also surprisingly hard to do like front facing portraits because the symmetry there is like really the part that is like need to be nailed down. Okay, the other ear is way too large. I'm still getting eye on my reference photo, so I'm liking this ear shape more. This one not so much, because even if this is meant to be rounded ear, I think it still should have some point there. I think that is better. So now we could continue with the eyes. And with the eyes, their ears are there. And this is having quite a bit happened to be in mid of the eyes. I'm exaggerating them now, right now, so I draw them a bit larger than they are in the reference photo. Yeah, a bossa nova, that sounds good. I have been actually thinking I would like to add some music to my streams as well, because I really enjoy when I think Lana has really beautiful background music. And by the way, Lana is streaming today after me. So now we have the eyes there. Let's put the front. Then the nose. bit more volume, like so. And still I still need to do some checking. It is a bit less than this distance, so it's somewhere here, I would say. The nose. I don't like the nose shape. A little bit more rounder. Like so. Oh, hi Heidi. Heidi Bunny Art. That sounds like a really good way to do art, doing bunnies. This is actually looking a lot like bunny now because it has so large ears. And yeah, I'm like my light is like really blowing it out. Could I? Now it's looking a bit better. And sadly today I'm not drawing bunnies, even if it's called Pando, but it's like I don't have bunnies today. I usually draw bunnies, but today I try to draw dogs. We have a lovely corgi we are trying to draw. And slit. Actually the slit is really shallow on this one, so I try to get that from the reference as well. So that's really shallow part. And then it goes really smoothly there. Same on the other side. Bit steeper at the end because it's oh, sorry, that was Levi. Levi had something to say. I think my boyfriend is coming back. So Levi is barking that. We have the tongue. Yeah, that is Levi. Levi barking. And other side of this mouth. Let's see it, but it actually looks really funny because I can't see the other one in the reference photo. And I can actually see the little bit of the end of the jaw there. So, and for the head shape, we're having the collar side coming like so. Yeah, Levi is really wanting to participate in the stream. And then we have the shoulders because the corgis are quite small. Let's give it this eye a bit more of the shape. Yeah, that's my boyfriend coming back. I can still stream. I want to do this one at least. Yeah, it's also well, I wouldn't say it's getting dark. It's really dark here because I'm not like in the northern Finland, but I'm in the, I would say, in the almost like mid part. Just under, not in the like Lapland anymore. But it's really dark here. So my light is really weird. I don't know. Is my, I think I need to clean my webcam lens or something because I can see that this area is really smudged. Like it looks like there's like a white blob, and my light is not pointing that point anymore. So weird. And let's do the ear. I'm trying to get on the head shape and then the ears. And then we have the ear. It's almost like a flap kind of thing down there. Now it actually looks more like Corgi because all the exaggerated feathers. It looks more Corgi than the previous ones. Previous one looked like German Shepherd, which was not correct. So I think that is better. But now I feel this here is a bit too much. I'm almost tempted to rise the eyes a bit. It's not even noon here yet. Yeah. I'm going to do that thing and this is something that would be really handy if I would be doing this digitally, because in digital painting I could just like lift it up and see how it looks. No need to like redraw it all the time. But I need to do here's a halfway point of the circle. This is not a good way to draw because you shouldn't be, these proportional things should be figured out when there's like still a rough sketch, but I got a bit carried away. There's the end of the ears. I could try position eyes here. That looks better. That looks way better. I'm just giving a corner a bit of the shape. Let's give the pupil and then the highlight. That's looking more like Corgi to me. I think I'm going with the same as the previous sketch, so let's do the inking with the sign pen. And I took my reference out because at this time I want to do more of the fur details as well. So because there's some long fur in the ears. Okay. Doing it like so. Other than that, ears seems to be quite white shirt fur. Only the inner side have more hair. I'm just like doing this small, like almost like fluffy outline. I don't want to outline it completely in the black. I think it's just enough if I have some outline. There is like this funny I like when some dogs have like the between their ears they have like long hair here and long hair here, and there's like holy triangle between their ears. I see some white Sevards have like really strong a triangle here, but this one the Corgi seems to doesn't have it, so I'm doing it. And some details to the eye. Not too much. I want to do most with the gouache. And also since gouache will be opaque, so it might cover some inking. Now I actually feel the nose is too small. This is like funny, I'm like halfway inking and I'm like, nose is too small. Need to be bigger. I think the nose is actually correct size if I were to draw like the really like in realistic style, but since it evolved to be quite of cartoony, I think it need to have a bigger nose as well. That's actually what I later learned when I started to do like really stylized bunnies. I noticed that when you stylize all like the features in the same way and same manner, it starts to look coherent and it starts to look good. And it's like, because I remember at some point there was like well, most beginner artists are like that. They try to stylize and they are trying to like hide that they can't do anatomy, and that often shows through as the like inconsistent stylizing. I was very, very happy when I noticed that my bunnies are looking really cohesive and stylized, even if they are really heavily stylized, because I do them like in the way cartoon and like almost like flat way. Let's do the mouth. I'm actually making the mouth a bit narrower because I think my original was a bit too. I'm also jetting a little bit of the tongue's shape. It's looking quite good. It's actually looking a bit too good. You know the moment when you draw something, then you notice it turned out good and then you're too afraid to paint it because you are like worried that you ruin it. I think this is the moment. I feel like that because this turned out really well. Also, I'm waiting it to dry. I don't want it to mess up the inking so much. I'm also wanting to do heavier inking, but I know that the gouache will cover it up, so there's no point. Because if I wouldn't be adding gouache, I would add just like the ear, all the ear hairs here and stuff like that, and probably some of the cheek as well, and more for the eyes and nose. But I'm not doing it as ink piece, so I need to reserve that for paint. And those who didn't see the previous sketches. And this was the first one. This is the second one. And this is the style I decided that I will go. But of course we got a bit more cartoony. The ear shape was still off and the eyes were too small. But I like the coloring style of this one, just a lot of the paper color here. Also I used quite a bit of the dry brushing there, so we are doing that again. I'll be grabbing the filbert. I'm like... I'm still really tempted, like... What style should I do this? Because I want maybe a bit more color than the previous one. So let's take the pink, because we need the pink of the inner ears. Is that alright? It's showing up. And then we have the other ear. For the consistency actually, let's give the tongue the same shade as undertone. This will be black areas. For the other area of the dog, I'm taking the white. And my white gouache is like, nope, you're not taking me anywhere. I don't know what is wrong with this white, but it's like super dry. It's just one of those that I always spray up with water and still like dry. Yeah, I like this. I like it too. I think this one turned out quite well. I have been... At one point I was really into realism, but then I noticed that I actually enjoy more doing like cartoony and more stylized characters. And it often gives like the... almost brings out more of the character. Especially in the dogs it works really well. Like of course like really stunningly done realistic portrait is really great piece of art as well, but I like stylized portraits more. They often like bring out, because they can bring out the individual better. Especially with the Levi, when I'm doing the Levi's portraits, because Levi's spotted, not spotted, it's called Merle, because he's blue Merle, Merle, I said Merle because it's Finnish, it's Merle, blue Merle. He lends itself very well in the caricature, because you can do flat colors and bring all of his like spots there. But with the realism it's like completely different. It's really hard to get the spots right, and it's often start to look less like Levi because all the light and stuff almost make the gray areas to blend, and also it's really hard to explain, but I think Levi is type of dog who looks better when it's like done in like a really cartoon way. He looks more like Levi and not like some random border collie. I'm trying to give you a bit more of the white, since there is clearly some white dots. Of course, we are not forgetting the ears. It's really hard to keep the line art showing. Of course, I could always go and do the line art again on top of gouache, but I actually don't want to do that because the gouache is matte. It is really like coarse on the surface, so I think that would grind down my pen nib really fast. So I much would rather having it to be under. If I would be really confident using brush for inking, that would be another story, because that would work well on top of gouache. I'm liking a lot of this already. Like, it's looking so good. And I was also thinking it might be enough if I add the darker brown areas. I just need to have the brown here. I think it's a bit more of the burnt sienna, which is another color that is like rock in my palette. So no, that's too red. We are not. No, not that color. I had to think really long time. Is that good enough or not? That, but bit warmer, and actually going with the red, because I don't want to bring the orange out anymore, so it's still got orange. I think white might be the solution. Nope, it got pink. So now it needs to have the yellow ochre. Struggling with the colors. That, but a bit darker. So not go with the brown umber. This looks okay. I would say a tiny bit of burnt sienna. I'm going so nuts that I'm actually adding orange there. It's actually look at the right decision. Yeah, that's the color. What kind of paper you are using? I don't know. I honestly don't know, because this sketchbook is super old. And this is probably from 2016. So, and I got it from my local art store. I'm actually going to check off camera because there's some information on the front. Is there any? No, not the maker. Oh, there is. It's honeymoon. I noticed the logo. There doesn't say anything else. It's honey mule and it's like craft type of paper, so it's just like tan. But this is so old that you probably can't get it anywhere. But old honey mule. It has like it's a craft type of paper, but this one is quite sleek, like smooth. Let's give the dog some color now. Look at the ears, I think. I don't know if the outside of the ears has. There's these flappy areas. Also from the under the eye. The gouache is working surprisingly fine on this paper. I think it, but it's like really, it's not watercolor paper, but it's, I don't know. I have been actually thinking, does Honeymoon has any, Honeymoon has some toned paper, because I have the toned tan sketchbook, but this one is wildly different color. Their new toned tan is like more yellowy. And this one is more brown. I like this one, is like really natural brown. But it's super old. Like really, really old sketchbook. It's sadly one of those sketchbooks that is in my pile that has been waiting to be filled for a bit too much time. Like I don't know how long this sketchbook has been just like abandoned. I usually don't want to abandon my sketchbook, but this one had, I think this one has more like, I didn't know what I want to do with this one, because it was pretty hard to use with watercolor and also with the fountain pens and stuff. And I don't have quite the tools I could easily use, like highlights on this kind of paper. Okay, now I have gouache, but back then I didn't have gouache. I'm just giving even bit darker shade for some really few places I wanted to give more of the more brown. I'm quite hesitant to. I don't want to add too much. Oh, Ruka and Levi are starting to play. There might be soon be quite a lot of noise. But I am sure they are playing. They are just two very rough players. And I heard that there's like toy involved. I'm just giving the eyes a little bit detail as well. Hypoxia paint. I'm really wanting to give it a bit more detail on this area, but I'm just trying to hold off myself, because that is also one of the things I think is like I would say pitfall of the artist is that if you go too detail on one point, like in the eyes, and then you paint the rest of the piece, and you decide you don't go that much in detail, then it starts to look unbalanced, and I try to avoid that. So I'm trying really to keep the detail level same all around, because this one turned out really well. It's really balanced. It feels really good painting. So I don't want to turn it to look like it has too much detail on one area and no detail at other. Now I need more of the pink. Yeah, that was Levi. He is doing some rough playing with Ruka, so I want to give it a bit more color here, because the paper is brown. It's like really soaks up the color and make it appear a bit muted. I like the effect here, but I want to give it still a bit more color. Now I think that it's still even. I'm doing the insert pieces because I'm erasing my sketch lines on the painting. Now I'm thinking it has like the even detail all over it. At this area the dog is actually brown, so the dog has like color, so color is white, but the dogs are the deep brown here, so I need to have it browner. Like so. I'm really liking the effect of the brown paper on this corky. I think it's lends itself really well in this color. I'm thinking I might give it a little bit. I need to more white on my palette, but I will give it like light brown. A light brown right here. A bit of the I want to like give it impression that there's fur. There's something on the cover. Like so. It looks good. Yeah, and I think I could give detail to around the eyes and the eyes itself. So I'm giving it Since this dog has quite dark brown eyes, I'm giving the shadows in the black, because I know the dark brown will take over it quite quickly. It's funny, like I'm watercolor painter, even if I'm doing gouache, like I try to avoid the reflection here. Even if I could easily just like add it later. And I also want to shape this eye a bit more, because I like how this one is going a little bit down. So I'm taking a bit more of the black, and my brush is terrible at that state. I feel my head isn't shut. Actually, I'm going with the line. Singing pen with here. A bit more controlly. So. I don't want that depth there, but and the brown is really disappearing into the eye. Especially that second eye, so I'm going with a little bit of the brown ochre. Not brown ochre, yellow ochre. What I'm talking about. The funny thing is that I actually don't know the color names so well in Finnish, because I usually talk in English when I'm talking about colors, and because they are all named in English. Because I was thinking yellow ochre, I don't even know what this is called in Finnish. I think it's not direct translated, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to give it a bit more of the lighter shade, but I don't want to give it too much, so that looks good. But there's a small spot there that shows off the paper color. I don't want that in the either. So. a nose. It has taken quite a long time. I wasn't expecting this last sketch to turn out so well, so it's going a bit over time. I'm again trying to be like watercolor painting and just avoiding the highlight, even if I don't need to do that with the gouache. It's actually more satisfying with the gouache if you just like start from the dark and paint from dark to light, because then it feels like image comes forward. But because watercolor is my main medium, I still paint mainly like the watercolor way. I'm actually leaving the teeth out because the reference showing only one teeth, and we want to emphasize that dog is friendly. But I want to darken this area a bit. Give it more shadow effect. Yeah, that's good. Then I need more white. This white is like really weird. It's like I never let it leave for like second for my palette. It's just like becomes rock solid. I'm thinking I will add some of the mouth as well. Maybe it's time for adding the highlights. And of course in the tongue as well. Oh, eye. I almost forget the highlight of the eye. So I maybe want that few of the. I'm like really trying to make this lower area work. I think I need to take the filbert and take some white with the dry brush, and as if I can make the not the white area whiter, I don't need to add shadows anymore. Or so I hope, but I think I need, because I don't have enough contrast on the under the chin. Even if I tried to leave it there, but quite didn't get it there. I mean a bit more of the stray hairs there. I'm thinking this area. I don't want to add too much detail because I feel that, like in the this Ruka, letting out some unhappy Ruka sound. He probably wants some attention, or food, or both. Since I can't make my mind, I will add some details here as well. I don't know how well that will do, but I will. Because I still want to keep it, because I like how it now feels light. Box Paint says I moved my chair at the same time and I was confused by the stereo sound. Yep. I had sometimes when I'm watching like videos, I hear some dog barking. I'm like really confused, like why I hear barking sounds. I feel this is going really well. I don't want to add too much detail because I feel this is like at the point where I could easily ruin the piece by adding too much detail on it. I'm thinking today that the small like eyebrow hair there. Yeah, that's good. I'm not adding the long like whisker type of hair. Even if the dog, this dog has those two, and Ruka has same hair. But because I know that I can't make them fine enough with the gouache. Yeah, this really looks good. I could render a bit more on this region as well. I'm a bit hesitant about the color I want to take there. Because I have gray, but yeah, it's not looking too bad. I think I'm too round brush for mixing. To soften it up a bit. I don't want to have it like too much. I don't want to look it like the dog has grey hair, so I just want to like have a soft shadow there. I think that's good. I'm really tempted to add a bit more details, and I know this is like, you know, when you have the like painting going on so well and then you are getting in the point that I want a bit more, and it can sometimes be like there's the small hairline to make painting look better or ruin the painting. Or the other bits. Yeah, Ruka and Levi are playing quite rough. inside. I think it's finished. I think I could say it's finished because I feel no detail I could add here could make it better, so I think that's quite good point to stop it. So yeah, thanks. Actually, I will show the previous sketches first. So recap what we did. We started with this one. I had reference photo. Actually, we started on the other sketch, but it's on the sketchbook that I throw on the floor. I don't want to pick it up. So this was like the second sketch we did, and it was from the reference. And then I like critique myself, and I was thinking the colors were too flat, and I wanted more texture. This was quite smooth, and ears were not the right shape, and also color was not right. Then we did this one. Their ear shape was still wrong. It was more doggy-like, but this is more like shepherd type of ear, and this is corky, so it was not right. And ears, and not ears, the eyes should be bigger. But I like the coloring, and I think the nose, ears, everything was like in the right place. This was looking more like Shiba Inu. This is look a bit more like mixed breed shepherd. But then we had this one, which looked like corky. And I'm the most happiest one, and I think it's like it looks like the original thing. And I will share this in my Instagram, and I will also link the account I got permission to use reference for, so you can go and check the reference there. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and I hope I see you in the Lana stream as well, because Lana is streaming after me in the Twitch. I think maybe we have like a few minutes, or what time is Lana streaming? I will check. Yeah, I also noticed that same thing. What I did, that the Corky's proportions are really different. Like they are not like your regular dogs. They are really different. Especially that they have quite large eyes. So yeah, Lana is streaming in 15 minutes. So I will be there. So thanks everybody for watching, and bye. And thank you.